Hey, friends, and welcome back to Nourish with Regina, where we talk about transforming your plate and transforming your life. Today's episode is one that I have been thinking about for a long time because it sits at the intersection of food, heart health, mindset, and how we treat our bodies. We're talking about sustainable weight loss and heart health without diet culture. And I want to say this right away. This episode is not about quick fixes. It's not about shrinking yourself, and it's definitely not about punishing your body, especially into submission. It's about nourishment, consistency, and learning how to care for the body God has already given you. So, I want to start this conversation by being honest about my own journey. In my 20s and 30s, I tried just about every diet out there. I have actually struggled with my weight pretty much my entire life, and I have done extreme things. I have had seasons where I just gave up. Um, so this is not, weight loss is not something that I am new to. Believe me when I say I have tried pretty much almost everything out there. I really, really have. So, I did Weight Watchers. I tried the Atkins diet. I did the South Beach diet. I did super restrictive dieting. I went through a phase where I cut calories to crazy levels, where I was only eating like a salad and a yogurt once a day. Not healthy at all. Um, and at the time, that's what I thought trying to be healthy looked like, or that was going to result in weight loss. And I think it really just did damage my body more than it did it any good. And I don't want you to keep struggling through that. These diets are fad diets. They come and go, they're pushed, and then, we find out maybe they weren't the best for our bodies later. So, what I didn't realize then is that how much those cycles really were affecting my body, not just physically, but emotionally too. I was constantly thinking about food, whether it was counting the calories or weighing it or keeping track of what I ate or logging it in a food journal or whatever. It was like my entire day was consumed with thinking about food. I also was constantly thinking about my weight. I was weighing myself, sometimes even twice a day. Um, and that can really mess with your emotions and your mental state too, your self esteem. Uh, every day I felt like it was a mental tug of war between being good or on plan or falling off or failing. Um, and then that just led to guilt and frustration. My mood suffered, my energy tanked. Food became something I obsessed over instead of something that nourished me. Um, and it really started the cycle of a really unhealthy relationship with food. And over time, that obsession, that constant struggle really began to overshadow my life. I wasn't present. I certainly wasn't at peace. And no matter how on plan or perfectly I was following the diet, I never actually felt good about it. And that's a lot of the part of diet culture that we don't talk about. And so we are going to talk about that today. So, what I didn't understand back then, and what I want you to understand now, is that fad diets and yo yo dieting don't just fail, they actively work against long term health. Large scale studies published in journals like JAMA and Circulation have shown weight cycling, repeatedly losing weight, and regaining weight is associated with increased cardiovascular risk. And since we're talking about heart health this month, that's really important. Higher inflammation markers and worse metabolic health over time. And this is true regardless of weight or body size. Physiologically, here is what happens. Excuse me. When you restrict food, your body senses stress. Remember, we talked about before it goes kind of into that fight or flight response area. Um, Stress, this kind of stress, will increase cortisol. Cortisol raises blood sugar and promotes fat storage, especially around the abdomen. Over time, repeated restriction teaches the body to hold on, not to let go. So the harder you diet, the more resistant your body can become. It doesn't have anything to do with lack of discipline. It's a survival biology. Um, and this is why so many people feel like they're doing everything right and still can't lose weight, especially in the midlife age range. So let's talk about midlife for just a minute. So those of you in your 40s and 50s, I myself am in my 40s, so I am part of this category. This is a season where the body becomes more sensitive to things like stress, sleep disruption, blood sugar swings, inflammation, hormonal shifts during perimenopause and menopause change how we process carbohydrates, how we build muscle, and how we store fat. And it's really important that we understand this. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism shows that muscle mass naturally declines with age. It's a process called sarcopenia, and muscle is a major driver of metabolic health. So that's why for especially women, but anyone in their 40s and 50s in this midlife range, strength training or, it's going to be so important. Muscle building, really, because your muscle mass is also going to help drive your metabolism and help with maintaining weight or losing weight as well. So all of them work together, and that's so important because in this stage of life, our body naturally wants to lose muscle mass anyways. So we have to really support that through protein-centered diet and weight-bearing exercise. So this is also why I talk about consistency, because consistency matters more than intensity, more than perfection. Consistency is going to be the winning key word here. And I want you to remember that, write it down, tape it on your refrigerator, on your bathroom mirror, wherever you're going to see it. Consistency is greater than perfection. So I'm going to tell you, you don't have to do extreme workouts. You don't have to do extreme dieting. We need to focus on steady nourishment, regular movement, and a stable blood sugar. And I know right now in this section we're focusing on midlife, but this can be effective and it's important for any age group, especially to start building those. I wish I would have built these habits, 20 years prior to when I actually started doing it. So, but the good thing about this is that it's hopeful. I have a hopeful message for you, and I want you to hear it clearly. Even if you haven't built healthy habits in the past, even if you feel like you've wasted years, I want to assure you it is never too late to make changes to your body and make changes that your body is actually going to respond to. The body is remarkably adaptable, especially when it feels safe and supported and nourished. So I want to pause here and talk about this in a little deeper level. God gave each of us one body. That body carries us through our days. It allows us to love our families. It shows up for our work, our friendships, our calling in life. And yet so many of us speak to our bodies with criticism, frustration, or even disgust. And I'm guilty of this too. I've done this for many, many years. And I want you to think how it would feel if we treated our bodies the way we would treat something else entrusted to us by God. My body with all its stretch marks and loose skin and saggy parts. Uh, it created three human beings. It, has run races, and it has survived surgery and hard times, and it has helped me raise my children. It helps me serve in my capacity with my work and here with you. Uh, it really is truly a gift, this wonderful blessing of a body. So we need to start treating our bodies like the gifts they are. They were given and entrusted to us by God. We don't want to treat them with neglect, and we don't want to treat them with punishment, but we want to care for them. Loving your body does not mean you don't want to change it. It means you stop waging war against it. And this is where mindset changes everything. We want to break up with the all or nothing thinking. If you start in the morning and you eat something, or maybe you skip breakfast and you're like, well, I've kind of ruined it for today. I'm just going to eat whatever I want and not worry about it. And then I'll start again tomorrow. You know what? You can start every minute. Every single minute is a new start. So don't let one mistake or one path veering you off cancel all the good that you can still do in that day for your body and to nourish it. I want you to release the guilt and the shame around food. Shifting, I want to just think about, instead of calling it a diet or restriction or that you're a dieter, start referring to yourself as a nourisher, or that you're nourishing your body with healthy foods, vitamins, minerals, things it needs. Just to really think about, the Bible says our body is a temple, and how we would care for that. And how we care for ourselves is by nourishing and loving ourselves. When the when the mindset shifts, the behaviors will follow. So this week, what I want you to do is, when you get up in the morning, and I want you to look in the mirror, and I want you to say, today I will nourish my body. Today I will love my body. 2 sentences, super easy. I want you to do that for a week, and then kind of just reflect at the end of the week on how you're feeling about your relationship with food and how your body and your relationship with your body. So mindset, remember, is so important. So we're going to take this and we're going to make it practical. And so here's what a simple, I want to help you out here. I'm going to give you 2 weeks of meal ideas and prep. These are going to be anti-inflammatory. They're going to stabilize your blood sugar. They're heart healthy, and they are going to nourish your beautiful body. So breakfast, say day 1 breakfast, scrambled eggs with spinach, peppers, maybe some mushrooms. You can serve this with avocados. If you can tolerate gluten, maybe a slice of real sourdough bread would be great with it. Just make sure you're getting those veggies in at breakfast, and protein for sure. Then for lunch, maybe you do grilled chicken over mixed greens or roasted vegetables with a little olive oil and lemon and maybe some roasted sweet potatoes. Very well balanced, nourishing. The sweet potatoes are going to be great for your gut health too. And then a snack, Greek yogurt and berries, sprinkle of nuts. You're getting lots and lots of protein with this. The berries have antioxidants in them. That's fantastic. And then for dinner, maybe salmon with some roasted broccoli and some quinoa. Really healthy, complex carbohydrates here that are going to aid your digestion, help with fiber. The salmon is going to be great as an anti-inflammatory food, and broccoli's just got all sorts of amazing nutrients in it. Here's another day example. For breakfast, maybe you don't like to cook. You don't have time to cook. So a protein smoothie with berries and almond butter and throw some spinach in there. You grind that up. You're not going to taste it. It might be green. Just close your eyes when when you drink it. You can put a little bit of sweetener in there if you want. You can use almond milk, maybe a scoop of cottage cheese if you tolerate dairy. That'll boost that protein. Um, Lunch, turkey and veggie bowl with brown rice and olive oil. I love making turkey burrito bowls, I call them, but it's like ground, low fat ground turkey, black beans, a little bit of corn, tomatoes, cucumbers, some brown rice, cilantro. I put some salsa on that. Oh, it's so good, so good. Um, a snack, try apple slices and peanut butter or almond butter. And then for dinner, you could do a slow cooker chicken soup with carrots and celery and herbs. Oh, that sounds so good. Maybe I'll make that tonight for dinner. But especially I love soup when the weather's cold like this. It's wonderful, and you can pack so many nourishing ingredients into those soups and add so many flavors with just herbs and spices. It's fantastic. And if you notice, none of this is fancy. None of this is going to take you hours and hours to create. And it's repeatable. You know, you could make the pot of soup one night for dinner and then have that for your lunches for the rest of the week. I love doing that, but I'll make a big pot of soup on Sunday for dinner. One, it's easy. I can start it in the morning, put it in the slow cooker. It's ready by dinner time. And then I can eat it for lunch throughout the week coming up. So super easy, super simple. And all of this supports your heart health, your hormones, and your energy. And you're going to feel better. I promise you, you will start to feel better if you keep consistently nourishing your body. So treats like, oh, I love to snack. So I try to stick to the formula of 3 meals and one snack a day. But some of us like smaller meals with more snacking. So snacks aren't re- restricted or forbidden. I like to think no food is forbidden. We just have to watch how much we take in of it. But our goal isn't avoidance, it's intention. When we eat, we want to eat with an intention, the intention of nourishing our beautiful bodies and, dealing with whatever health issues we might have in a healthy way, such as like inflammation or leaky gut or diabetes or any of these things. Food really, really can aid in treatment for those conditions. So treats are allowed. You can enjoy dessert every once in a while. You can have an extra snack in a day if you need to. But we're going to enjoy those things mindfully, without guilt, without starting over tomorrow. We talked about that already. Um, because when food is neutral, it loses its power over us, and that's really astounding to think about when, we can choose not to give food power over our lives because we're not going to look at it as good or bad. We're looking at food as if it's going to help you reach your goals or not. Um, I tell you one thing I love, and I wish I didn't, but I love my sister's macaroni and cheese, and she makes it at Christmas. And I do eat gluten free as much as possible, but I tell you what, at Christmas I allow myself a little portion of this because it's seriously the best thing ever. But I make that intention and then I choose healthy the rest of the meal and the rest of the day, choose those more nourishing things because that mac and cheese, I tell you what, nourishes my soul. So, pardon me. I've also been fighting a little bit of a cold. So, I know we've talked about a lot today, and just a few things that I do want to reiterate, and I want you to remember is that consistency beats perfection every single day, and that we're not going to punish our bodies. We're going to nourish them and we're going to love them. So, If this approach resonates with you, if you're ready to step away from diet culture and into nourishment, I would love to support you in that. I do offer one on one coaching. I also run group coaching once a month. So you can learn all about this at www.nourishwithregina.com. I want to thank you for being here. Your body is not the problem. Your heart deserves care. And sustainable change, no matter your age, is absolutely possible. Thank you for joining me, and I can't wait to see you next week. Bye.